Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have everything up and running, and I'm so excited to share our yoga and myofascial release today. Everything that you could possibly ever want is demonstrated right over here in the corner of my mat, and I am very, very briefly going to go over some of this stuff with you, but please don't stress out if you don't have a lot of this stuff, okay? So today we're going to open up the front of the body, and to do so, all you have to get the benefits of this nice big opening here, which can help with your back bends. But in really common terms, it also just helps because we're here a lot, right? We're here a lot. We're carrying things a lot. So it's just really nice to get that front body opening. So all you really, really need to have is something resembling a ball. And I've shown you this before. You can tuck a tennis ball in there. You can keep a tennis ball the way it is. Or you can take one dishcloth, fold it inside another, and create our little ghost that we've seen before. You're also welcome to use one of either of these size rad rollers. Okay, that's what I like to use. And then one of a couple of things. So I've brought some blankets today because I find these to be really helpful, or a big towel, and you can roll them up into all different shapes and sizes and use them for myofascial release. Again, go ahead and grab one of those if you can. If you don't have something that size, or you've already brought a block to your practice, this works really well. And then last week we used a handy dandy rolling pin. Now I have the rad roller version of that, but either one of these works. Another one is a foam roller. So just something you can kind of roll your legs out with. If you don't have any of these items and all you have is a tennis ball, I'll show you some tricks and tips that you can do with that. Those of you that have maybe something a little slimmer than just like a Nalgene bottle, a regular water bottle, those also work really well. So I just encourage people to use whatever they have, and we're going to make it work for you. Okay? We're going to start today, in order to open up the front side body, lying on our backs. Please raise a hand at any point during class today. We had a couple technical difficulties before class, so if you can't hear me, let me know. I will make sure everything's connected properly. Hopefully you can. And then as always, we've done some back body. Now we're doing front body. If there's something you want to see in terms of yoga and myofascial release, send me a message. Let me know. I would love to hear from you and what you guys want to see next week. All right, so let's get it set up. Again, we're opening front side body today, so we'll do a little flow and some release. Grab a hold of any number of props. I'm going to start with a blanket and my block, but a couple blankets or towels work really well right here. And all I want you to do is, sitting on your mat, give yourself a pat on the back. So right arm over left shoulder. Feel for your shoulder blades, those bones right back here, upper back over here. Okay, and right about here, okay, bra line for ladies, right below the nipple line for the men. The back side of that is where that block or blanket's going to rest. So I'm going to take my block. In kids yoga, we call this hamburger ways, okay? So the lengthwise, horizontal. And I'm going to place it on my mat. And then I'm going to take my blanket, and because my block's kind of hard, I'm going to put my blanket over the block. Okay, if you have another blanket or even a pillow or another block, you can make yourself a little pillow. Okay, so get that all set up for yourself. Okay, and play around with this. This isn't an exact science. You do you, as always. And then, like I mentioned, the scapula, your shoulder blades, that's going to rest pretty much right on top of the block. So the blanket, whatever prop you're using, is going to rest along the bottom edge of your scapula. Okay, we're going to go ahead and lay back. Feels nice at the end of the day. Right over that block, and notice I made a little pillow for my head, but you're welcome to let your head lay back all the way. And then I'm going to draw the soles of my feet together and let my knees come out to the side. And then I'm going to open my arms up nice and wide right here and get a big opening through the chest, the front side body. Notice my rib cage pops a little bit. Now, if you have your block too low, it's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable if it's a little too far down the back right here. So move it around until you're nice and comfy. And then just allow yourself a few moments to sink into this pose right here. Good. I want you to take a few more breaths right there. Gonna check for any comments, anything you guys want to see. Feel free to lengthen the legs out. Hi. Feel free to lengthen the legs out if that feels more comfortable for you. There we go. Now you guys will hopefully be able to hear me a little bit better. Gonna take a couple more breaths right here. The longer we stay here, the more gentle opening you're gonna get across the front body right here and into the inner thighs. And that's one thing I really like about a restorative approach to yoga is we get those nice deep stretches, but we're not, I hate to use the word force, we're not encouraging our body into those stretches the way we do in a more vigorous yoga practice, or even like a heated yoga practice. And it just takes time. Take one more big breath. And then on the next exhale, we're going to draw the knees together and then roll over to the side using the strength in your arms to push yourself up to a comfortable position and take all of your props, just place them within, okay? We're going to come onto our bellies right here. And you'll notice we're going to move a little bit slower in today's class. I want to give you guys plenty of time to set your things up so you can really get the benefits out of this class today. Go ahead and come over onto your belly. And we're going to start in right away with the shoulders. So what I'd like you to do is a little thread the needle. So take the right arm, wind it underneath the left, okay? And stretch the left arm over. So you're making this shape with the arms, almost like halfway into an eagle pose. Okay, and your forehead's going to rest down. Now, knowing that we're going into that pose, if you want to place something for your forehead to rest on, feel free to do so. What I will say is looking from side to side in this pose doesn't always feel the greatest. So I would get something for your forehead right now if you know you're going to go there. So you're making an X, right arm under, left arm over. And then gently rest your forehead down. Notice me, I can't even get my forehead to the mat right here. You may not be able to either. So I'm just tucking my chin in and I'm letting it rest on the meaty bicep of my arm. And take a few breaths right here. So you might feel this on the sides of your shoulders, maybe into the triceps or even the biceps right here. If you're really tight in your upper back, between the shoulder blades, the rhomboids, you might be feeling that there. You might feel it in the neck or in your traps. I love this stretch. I think it can hit so many wonderful areas. And we're so shoulder intensive with text messaging, social media, being on our phones so much. And we don't even realize it, but even just holding a book and reading in bed at night can be a lot for your shoulders. It's just holding something for an extended period of time, and it's very little weight, but over time it can feel pretty heavy to the shoulders. and the chest at the same time. The pecs being recruited to assist with that. And then when you're ready, slowly make your way back up. And the arm that was under, so our right arm, we're going to splay it out to the side. Take your left hand towards your chest and then roll over to that right side. Take about 3 solid breaths right here. Good, last one. And then all the way back to center. Now we're going to assume the same position, so I'll show you from a seated, upright seated position here. So last time we had the right arm under the left. This time we're going to do the left arm under the right. So again, we're almost coming into like a hug or eagle arms right here, but halfway. Okay, and again, if you need something to prop your forehead on, get yourself set up right there. Back onto the belly. Left arm is going to reach under the right. Right arm is going to crisscross on top. And we're going to lay down. Now's a good time just to enjoy the breath. Take inventory of your body. Any hot spots or sensations arising. It's also a good time to allow any thoughts, actions, or sensations from the day to just sort of melt away. Let them drip off of your mat, really clearing some space for yourself and some quiet time for your mind right here on your mat. And take about 3 more breaths right here. Last 2. And 1 more. And as you're ready, gently make your way back up. Okay, right hand this time is going to support you, so push up from there and then extend your left arm all the way out to the side like an airplane wing. Right hand pops back down by your chest, and we're going to twist over toward the left. Okay, opening up the front side of the shoulder and across the pec. And we'll take about 3 to 5 breaths right here. Good, a couple more. And let's take 1 more big breath right here. Good, come all the way back to center. And then gently push your way up into a cobra pose from here. So we're going to hug the elbows back just like chicken wings. Tap the toenails onto the ground. Lift the kneecaps ever so slightly. And then as you inhale, we're going to engage those strong back muscles to peel the chest off. Look forward and then down. Holding there for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Good. 1 more time. Inhale, peel the chest off. This time, option to walk the hands a little bit further back and push just a little bit higher. Maybe straightening through the arms and coming into this upward facing dog position. Floating the thighs for 3, 2, and 1. Good. From here, knees are going to drop down. We're going to push back to a tabletop position. And take a couple cat-cows. Okay, so knees under hips, shoulders, wrists, and elbows nice and lined up here. Take an inhale breath. Really let the chest pull through. So again, opening this whole front side body right here. And then as you exhale, we're going to scoop and round and open the back side. Inhale breath. Exhale breath. One more time. Inhale, breath. And exhale, breath. Good. From here, come to a neutral tabletop. Bring one foot and then the other to the front of your mat. Inhale, look up halfway, almost like an up dog with the chest right here. And then exhale, forward fold. One more just like that. Inhale, breath, up dog, chest, belly still firms back. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Come all the way up to standing right here. Oops. Oh, hi. It's a little windy today. Good. So come all the way up to standing right here. And then as you exhale, we're going to plant our hands by our hips. And we're going to do a little myofascial release for the front and sides of the ribs right here. Okay, so we're going to start on the right. You're going to take your thumb and find an intercostal muscle right here. So those are the muscles right in between your ribs. We've done this before. Okay, you're going to tuck your thumb right here into the side. Little bend in the knees. Support yourself here. Take an inhale breath here. And as you exhale, bend over to the left. Inhale back to center, find spots. Little push, and then bend. Okay, we're not doing any fancy yoga right here, just fascial release. We're going to see how that affects the next couple poses that we do. Move your thumb around, find some different spots toward the back, toward the front, up and down. Okay. Each time, find a spot, little push, so we call that a pin and hold, and then we're going to lengthen. We're going to find one more. Inhale, breath. Exhale, breath. And inhale back to center. Not quite to the other side yet. Draw the toes together, lift the kneecaps, inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, interlace the hands behind the head, pull the elbows back and draw the front hip bones up. Take another inhale to stand nice and tall here. And then as you exhale, we're going to bend over to the left. Draw the tailbone down and notice the length created in that right side body right here. Okay, we want to maintain some length in the left side body as well. We're not compressing and crunching over here. It's almost like you're trying to come up and over a giant beach ball. For 3, 2, and 1. Inhale back to center, arms reach. Exhale, hands back down by the hips. Okay, other side. Left thumb, find a spot in between. Couple of your ribs over here. You're welcome to take the feet apart if that's more comfortable for you. Do what works for you. Inhale, breath, little pin and hold. So just a little push and then bend. You know, if it feels more comfortable to take this into a wider kind of like a squat stance, if you're like on fire today and want to do like some squats with this, you're welcome to do that. It's a fun thing about practicing from home. You could be doing yoga in your fuzzy pink bunny slippers. Little mug of coffee in your hands. Multitasking kings and queens out there. Good. Push a little bit. Stretch. Ooh. That was a good spot. And back to center. Okay. We'll do just a couple more right here. Remember, front, back, up and down. And then last one. And if you find a spot that is just really working for you, feel free to go over it a couple of times. Good. Okay. Now back to center. Take a big inhale, breath, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, interlace the hands behind the head. Draw the front hip bones up, lengthen the tailbone, and roll strong. Inhale, lengthen, exhale over to the right. Okay, this is a variation on standing half moon. If you do Bikram at home, you'll notice this pose. A lot of times they'll do it like this. Okay, I like the hands behind the head. Just sort of shortens the lever for my arms and doesn't place so much stress on my shoulders personally. But if you prefer to do arms above head, feel free to do that. Take a couple more breaths here. Continue to draw the belly back and lift the kneecaps for 3. Okay, toes not gripping the mat here. 2, relax the shoulders. And 1, good. Inhale, come all the way back to center. Exhale, big cactus arm stretch right here, really getting into that space that we opened up earlier. And then inhale, reach all the way up. Go ahead and step to the front of your mat. And big exhale, forward fold. Little bend in the knees here. Look up halfway. And as you exhale, plant the hand, step the left foot all the way to the back of your mat, drop down to the knee. Draw the thighs together, inhale, reach the arms up, and as you exhale, interlace the hands behind the back. Okay, it's okay to keep these back toes tucked. Sometimes that helps with balance. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, as the thighs draw in toward one another, lean back. So this is strong and releasing at the same time. We don't want to dump too much here because we might overstretch this tender hip flexor right here. I want you just to stretch and not quite over the edge. One more breath. Good. And then slowly release. Plant the hands. Lift the back knee off the mat. Push through the heel. Okay. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take this to a high lunge. And then as you exhale, swing the right hand back and the left hand forward. Take a twist. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. And then inhale, arms are going to reach up. As you exhale, plant the hands down to the mat. Step the feet forward. Look up halfway. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Reach the arms all the way up. This time wrist and exhale over to the right. Inhale back through center. Exhale other direction. Inhale back through center. Exhale cactus stretch. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, little bend, forward fold, belly to thighs. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, step the right foot all the way back. Drop down to the right knee. Keep the toes tucked. Inhale, reach the arms up. Draw the thighs inward. Good, and then exhale, awkward grip, hands behind the back. So opposite hand on top. Inhale, roll the chest through, draw the thighs toward one another. So notice my hands a little bit go down the back leg, but I'm not working too hard here. I'm feeling this stretch with very, very little movement. Okay, you might be able to go a little bit deeper. One more breath. And slowly release. Good. Okay, hands plant, lift the knee, push through the heel. Feel that nice little stretch right there. And then bringing the thighs back in toward one another. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And exhale. The wind's going to blow me over here. Tick-tock the left hand back, right hand forward. Continue to squeeze the thighs. That helps with your balance right here, not your toes. Okay. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, little twist deeper. And then inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, plant the hands down, step the feet together. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up to standing. And this time, as you exhale, we're going to interlace the hands together, cross them, and bend over to the right. So we're taking that full half moon, the one that you see in a Bikram class right here, or maybe a hot yoga sequence. So if this feels good, take it. If it doesn't, we have this option to do hands behind the head. Okay. For 3, lift the front hips. 2 and 1. Inhale back to center. Switch your grip. Cross the thumbs, reach. Exhale over to the left. Press the palms, biceps to ears. Knit the ribs together. Power down through the outer edge of the right foot. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Let's take that cactus arm stretch. And then interlace the hands behind the back. Okay, toward the front of your mat. Take the feet a little wider than hip disc pop. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold, belly to thighs. Good. Let the shoulders roll up and out of the ears. Take one more inhale. One more exhale as we start to straighten through the legs a little bit. And then go ahead and slowly drop the hands down to the mat. Right hand underneath your nose, bend into the right knee. Inhale, lift the left arm. Here's a good spot for a prop under that bottom hand. Inhale, breath here. Exhale, fold the arm behind the back. So first I want you to internally rotate, so like you're high-fiving the person behind you, and then take the wrap. Inhale, breath. Exhale, twist. Inhale, slowly release. Exhale, hand comes to the mat. Switch sides. Left hand down, left knee bends. Inhale, reach. Maybe a prop under that bottom hand or come to fingertips. Inhale, breath. Exhale, internal rotation, wrap behind the back. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale, reach and release. Exhale, back down. Heel toe the feet together. Hands to shins. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Chest moves forward, just like up dog. Exhale, plant the hand, step the left foot back. This time, stay half the back knee. Inhale, reach the arms up. interlace the hands behind the head. Inhale, breath, look up. And as you exhale, keep the arms open up to a warrior two stance. Good. Top hand is going to wiggle in between your shoulder blades. Opposite arm is going to release. And that same internal rotation, do that right here. And then maybe reach for your other hand behind your back. If not, grab your shirt. That's what I'm doing, okay? Lunge into the front leg. Back foot is flat. Arches are lifted. Inhale, look up, lean back. Exhale here. And inhale, come all the way back through center. Go ahead and release the hands. Straighten through the front leg. Little triangle pose here. Feels good to stretch those legs. Reach forward, forward, forward. Right hand comes to shin. Left arm extends high. Now, I love this pose for opening my front side body because I feel like by bringing this bottom rib cage forward, I can really rotate here, open up and back. The key here, though, is to not initiate that from your shoulder, because all we're doing is opening up and maybe even overstretching that top shoulder. See if you can keep the shoulder into alignment. If you're not sure what that feels like, place your hand behind your head and then rotate through the chest. Now draw your front hip bones up and roll your front inner thigh out for 3, 2, and 1. Cartwheel the hands all the way down to your mat. Let's take a little twist. Left hand down, right arm up. Big inhale, breath. And exhale. Drop the hands, roll forward, hands to shins. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. This time, right foot all the way back. Good. Okay, inner thighs toward one another. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, interlace the hands behind the back. Thighs draw inward, look up, lean back. Inhale here. Exhale here. And inhale, come up, rotate through to warrior two. Okay, so this front leg is nice and bent. Push the knee out, keep the hands where they are. Power through the outside edge of the back foot. Take this top hand, pat yourself on the back. Other hand comes out, thumb flips down, and then we're going to swim this hand all the way up to meet the top one, or just grab a hold of your shirt. Okay? Keep this front knee pressing out. Up, lean back, reverse warrior. Stay for another inhale. Stay for a full exhale. Good. As you inhale, slowly release. Reach the arms out, straighten through the front leg. Let's take it into triangle. So hips move back. We move forward. Good. And then drop this front hand down, top arm up. So remember I talked about rotating out a little bit, so drawing this bottom rib cage forward. You can also see it right here. All I'm doing right here is reaching my shoulder back. I don't have as much rotation through my chest as I do through my shoulder, but I feel like I'm opening up into triangle. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to cradle my head, and then I'm going to rotate through the chest and then spiral this front thigh out. At the same time, I'm going to smooth out this curve in my lower back so that I'm not over initiating that twist right here. Okay, so I'm not dumping into my lower back. And then I can release the arm up for 3, 2, and 1. Cartwheel the top arm down. Let's take a twist, okay? Find a runner's lunge. Reach the left arm high. Pull the left hip back. Big inhale, breath right here. And exhale, breath. Hands to the mat. Step forward. Inhale, look up, up dog chest. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, root to rise. Standing back bend. Hands to the lower back. So place them right at the triangle of your back right here onto your sacrum, thumbs in. Feet about hip distance apart. Chicken wing the elbows back. Inhale, breath here. Roll the thighs back. Excuse me. And then as you exhale, let the hips move forward. Chest comes up. Roll over that giant beach ball with the back. Okay, let's focus on really getting over the beach ball with the upper back. Lower back follows for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Inhale, come up, reach the arms, and exhale, forward folds. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back into a tabletop position. Grab a hold of your ball. Okay. Now, if you don't have a ball, like I said, grab a dishcloth, put it inside another cloth, rubber band it, voila, you have a ball. Okay. And in some cases, this might feel a little bit better than the other one. And then grab a hold of your blanket or your block. Okay, so if you have your blanket, we're going to fold it into a nice, neat little square. Or, if it's really big and bulky like mine, I'm going to take this lengthwise and I'm going to roll it up nice and tight. Okay, so we're going to do a little more release of the front side body, and then we're going to take a similar flow to what we just did and see how different it feels. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do this next one. We're going to start by releasing the chest right here, and then we're going to release the TFL, the tensor fascial latte. It's one of these fascial pockets right over here in the front of your body by your hip flexors. Okay, so starting with the chest and moving our way down, you're going to take your blanket, if that's what you're using, nice and tightly rolled, come down onto your belly, and you're basically just going to lay on your blanket. This is why the tight roll is so important, because you're not going to feel this as deeply if you're not laying on your blanket. And we want it right about chest height, okay? So ideally, we're getting some release across the pecs and into the sternum, some of the light muscles here. Now, there's bone right here, and my rule of thumb with myofascial release is I don't like doing things on the bone, but there's also layers of muscle, albeit thin in some areas, across this area. And it's nice to get that release, especially when we're, okay, oversized iPhone right here, okay, when we're on our devices all day long. So this gets really bound up. And one of the ways to counter that is to do some stretching, some release, but also to strengthen this area. Hence a lot of these things that we do, pinching of the shoulder blades together and strengthening the upper back. Okay, that's going to help release this area. So you can use your blanket. Now, if that's not enough and you have access to a block, grab it, and you can always lay a dish towel over it if it's a really hard block right here. And you're going to do the same thing, but I'm going to place my block lengthwise on my mat, and I'm going to use this edge right here to get that same thing. So I'm placing the edge right here across my sternum, so really mid-chest area, okay? And use about nipple height right here. And I'm going to use that gently to just lower. That's good. Feel a little myofascial release. Just a pin and hold. And then come back up. I'm going to find a different area. Okay, it's very upright so you can see what it is that I'm doing. So I have it right about here. Okay, it's actually the bottom edge, right about there, and I was laying on it. If you have a thin towel you want to lay over it to cushion some of the block, if it's a bit hard, that works really well. You could also do this if it's too much pressure lying down. You could do this up against a wall and lean into it, or you can just do it upright like this. Okay, so that being said, get creative. You don't have a blanket, you don't have a block, go get one of your kids' books, okay? We just need an edge right here, and all we're doing is a little bit of push and hold. This is one of those areas that you don't realize it's tight, especially if you do a lot of yoga. We're doing all these like chaturangas, okay, all these push-ups. You don't realize how tight this area gets until you start doing this, and then you're like, why didn't I do this before? This area is so tight. Okay, and you can even work this over into the pec. And this one might be a little more awkward in the office. Maybe save it for home. You can get right up underneath your collarbones. And then it probably goes without saying, but for the ladies out there, be sensitive to some of the more delicate areas. Okay. But you can work around here. And take a couple more breaths. I'm kind of digging doing this sitting up. It's not quite as harsh as it is when you're laying on the block. Okay. Good. And then let's go ahead and release that. And we're going to work our way down. So we're obviously going to skip the ribs. We did some of that already, but we're going to try and work right into this area. So before we take the ball or whatever prop you're using to release this area, so maybe the dishcloth, we're going to lay back and figure out what this area is that we're going to be releasing, the TFL. Okay. So go ahead and lay back. Okay, let your ankles kind of flop open right here, and then find that jut out right here. and your belly button. Hopefully we all know where those are. Okay. And what you're going to do is walk your fingers down from your belly button across towards your hip flexor and place your palm in that area right there. Okay, so kind of intersecting on the diagonal those two spots. And then lift your right leg. Okay. You can even come down a little bit below the hip bone. Oh, there we go. Okay. And you're feeling for the muscle, okay, that engages when you lift your leg. Okay, and you can do that on both sides. Just get a feel for what's happening from a lying down position when you lift your leg. So there's going to be some areas up here in the abdomen, and then put your fingers back on your front, and you can walk them a little bit down and in towards your belly button. So instead of up and in towards your belly button, down and in, place the hand back over there. It's down there. Fire up when you lift your legs. Okay, so you're going to feel a whole host of stuff. Don't worry about what it's called. Just know that this is kind of the area we're looking to release right here. Okay? There's so many areas around here, you guys. Around a little bit. Okay, go ahead and roll back up. We're going to take the ball, and we're going to start a little bit higher. So one of those spots, there's many, right? One of those spots, and put the ball there standing up or up on your knees like I am, just so you have an idea of where you want to be when you're laying down. And then we're going to lay down on that ball. And if you don't feel it right away, don't worry about it. Okay, there's layers of tissue that you have to get through, and it's all beneficial. Okay? And you might not feel a lot. I can feel it, but you might be a little different. If you're a cyclist or a runner, you're probably feeling it right away. And then move around a little bit if you don't feel it after a few breaths, and just find another spot. And honestly, we're just going to hang right here for a little bit. So no matter how many of these we do to release this area, nothing is going to get you the way a good ball right into the gut will. Okay? And then again, it goes without saying, we want to stay away from the more delicate areas of the body. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to work my way down a little bit. It's like radio silence over there. Hopefully everybody can feel a little something. Now, if you lay flat, you might not feel it quite as much. This is a more lengthened state for that area, so you're going to feel it a little if you're upright on your elbows. There we go, a little feedback from somebody. Please let me know if you don't get it. And I can show you another one that might hit that area using a block. I just find it to be a little more aggressive than this one. Okay. Good. So I've been laying in the same spot. I'm going to go ahead and switch spots. I will say laying in the same spot, after a while, you'll feel it. It just takes a little bit of time to get there. And then when you're ready, we're going to move over to the other side. Okay. So if you need to, you can come back up. Ah, that felt amazing. And we're going to find the other side. So here's the bone right here. Here's my belly button. You can go kind of anywhere along here. You're going to hit some of the abdominal tissue, okay, some of the abdominal muscles. Mine get really tight, and we almost never release that area because we're always trying to work it, right? And you can come a little bit further down, more into this hip area if you'd like. I like to start here because this helps release this, okay? And then come on down onto your belly. Ah. Okay. So some of the other benefits of doing something like this is if you travel a lot, and no matter how much water you drink, being on dry airplanes or not enough rest stops to refill or whatever your travel situation is, camping, okay? Some folks are a little shy when they travel. And it might be days before they're comfortable again. Now, if you're not quite sure what that means, I won't go into detail, but this is one of those things that you can do to help get the digestive system moving along a little bit, okay? Not to mention it just feels good from sitting in a car or on an airplane after a really long time. So whenever I travel, I bring one of my rad rollers with me. A tennis ball or a lacrosse ball also work really, really well, and it has so many benefits, not just a quick massage, okay? Good, we'll take a couple more breaths, find a couple more spots over here. Again, if you had a rolled up blanket, you might even be able to work both sides at the same time. If you're a journaler, this is a good thing you could do in the morning. Write in your journal, do a little release, watching a show, responding to some text messages. There's always a way to fit it in, a couple minutes a day. Grab about one more spot, and then we're going to hit one last thing before we flow a little bit more here. Ooh. Good. Okay. Go ahead and come on up whenever you're ready. We're going to do a quick flush of our quads and then move into a short flow to just kind of reap the benefits of everything we just did. And this is where, like I said, foam roller, okay, rolling pin, rad stick, anything you have, everything but the kitchen sink, right? Go ahead and throw it at you right now. I'm going to show you one of my favorite options, which could be using, this is the rad product right here for like instead of a foam roller. But I'm actually going to show you with this because I know it's going to be one of the most common things, and then I'll show you more with a foam roller. And that is flushing our quads. So we just release this area. Let's release down into the quads because now everything in the front body right here has been hit pretty well. It's going to feel really yummy. And all I'm going to do is roll. So I'm on just one leg right here. Back and forth. Okay. Now if rolling is not an option, you don't have something that can roll, okay, you could attempt to do some flushing. Again, if it rolls, it's going to work a little bit better. Okay. But if all you have is a blanket, grab your blanket and do some pin and hold. Okay, so roll it up nice and tight. Lay on it. And you're going to feel it. Albeit it'll take a little bit more time, but you'll still feel it. And a little bit goes a long way with myofascial release. Okay? So you do you. Take a couple of moments here to hit up both tops of your legs. Okay. Showed you with the rolling pin last time. You can get your iliotibial band, your IT band, quads, inner thigh. This is my favorite. And kids like to do this too. This is how you teach your kids how to start rolling out cookie dough themselves. There we go. Awesome. All right, let's get moving. Okay, so wrap that up. Join us when you're ready. Let's do a short 5-minute flow, and then I got one more goodie for you today. So as you're ready, we're going to come up to the tops of our mats. Start out in a forward fold. So we did a lot of front body release right here. We're going to do a little back body right here. Grab a hold of the elbows and like a big elephant trunk. Go ahead and sway side to side right here. And drop the hands down. Heel toe the feet together. Take an inhale breath. Look up halfway right here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale. Root to rise. Come all the way up to standing. Little lean back. And then exhale all the way back down. Good. Inhale, look up. Exhale, right back to downward facing dog. So this is our first weight-bearing activity on our shoulders after doing that release. See if you're feeling a little more open across the chest. Knees bent. Let the chest drop and then hollow out the armpit. So we're still making this a strong pose. Notice here to here. Okay. Spread the shoulder blades. And then maybe drop the heels down, but keep that strength right here. Give me one more inhale, one more exhale. And then as you inhale, step the right foot forward. Stay high off the back knee. Spin the back foot flat. And inhale, reach the arms all the way up. As you exhale, interlace the hands behind the back. Inhale, let the chest pop. And exhale, bow down inside the front leg. In, open all the way up. Windmill into warrior 2. Flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Good. Exhale into side angle. Elbow at the knee. Top arm extends up. And then bicep to ear overhead. Continue to press this bottom shoulder out of the ear for 3. Good. Hitting that inner thigh that we just released. 2. And 1. Inhale. Come all the way back up to center. Straighten through both legs. Spin the toes to the long edge of your mat. And then heel toe the feet together. Good. Power down through the left leg. Take the right leg, kick your booty. Reach back, grab a hold of the inside or outside of the foot. Just depends on how your shoulder's feeling today. We're nice and open across the chest. So inside of the arch if you can, and then bump the knees back together. Reach the opposite arm up to the sky. Inhale, breath here. Exhale, begin to lean forward and then kick nice and strong into the back hand. Dancer pose. Doesn't have to be big. Take it more for the stretch. To check in with your body for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come back to standing. Exhale, release, arms reach. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to hips, step back to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, step right back to downward facing dog. Again, take a moment, let the chest drop. See what that feels like. Bend the knees and then push into the underarms. Now inhale here, drop your gaze. Exhale, press the heels flat. Inhale, breath, scoop the belly. Exhale, breath, release. Step the left foot forward. Good. On the next inhale, spin the back foot flat, reach the arms up, warrior 1. Inhale here. Exhale, awkward grip, hands behind the back. Inhale, chest reaches through. Exhale, bow down inside the front leg. Inhale, cartwheel the arms open, warrior 2, lunge into the front leg, back foot flat. Pull this front knee open. Flip the palm. Inhale, reach up, reverse warrior. Exhale into side angle. Front elbow drops to the knee. Shoulder rolls back, top arm reaches, a bicep to ear. Extend your side angle. Inhale, breath here. Exhale, breath here. And then inhale, come all the way up to standing. Once again, toes to the long edge of your mat. Heel toe, the feet together. Bring the hands to your hips. Power down through the right leg this time. Take the left leg, kick yourself in the booty. Okay? Grab a hold of the outside or inside of the foot. Draw the knees back together. Lift your front hip bones up a little bit. You're going to feel that stretch through the quad. Inhale, breath here. Maybe even just stay here. Otherwise, flare the back toes out. Start to reach forward and at the same time kick up and back into the palm of your hand. You don't have to take it far. Take it far if you want to, but just enjoy. Oh, see? That's what I get. Just enjoy the stretch right here. Okay, that's what we're going for. And see how different it feels to practice yoga after really not having done a lot of it. We did a lot of release today. Still feels pretty good, right? For 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come to standing. And exhale, plant the hands at the heart. Good job. Step to the front of your mat. Take an inhale breath. Reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up. And exhale, step back to tabletop. Good. Okay. Inhale, come up to the knees, hands to the back. So it's going to be similar to the standing back bend that we did. We're going to take a camel pose. Activate the inner thighs. If you need to, grab a prop, place it between your legs and squeeze. So we're really trying to work with our bodies. We did so much relief in the front side body. Let's get into one more back bend here. If camel's not your jam, take another standing dancer. Okay, take another dancer. It is not one that we've done a whole lot in this class, so just play with it a little bit. Or come down, do cobra, do any other back bend that works for you. Okay, squeeze that prop if you're using it. Otherwise, get the sensation, remove the prop. Inhale, breath here. Exhale, begin to lean back into your camel. Hips come forward, chest opens. Option to reach back for the feet. Now, if you do that and your hips drop back with you, grab the ankles and then move the hips forward. This is a great pose to do up against so that your hips can feel the wall in front of you and you know they're in the right place just on top of your knees. For 3, breathe. 2, and 1. Hands to the lower back, support. Inhale, come up, and then swing the arms side to side. So one last little wind down exercise. Go ahead and grab a hold of your blanket or your block. And we're going to do one more release for the side body, and we will end our class right there, hopefully a time for about a 1-minute Shavasana. So we'll make this one pretty short. Setup is easy. Place your block top of your mat, second face, so not the lowest, but the second one. Okay? If you have a blanket, feel free to drape that over your block for a little bit of cushion, or roll your blanket up tight, this time instead of lengthwise, so that it's really skinny. Do it so that it is the chunkiest and fattest you can get it. Okay, and I'll show you options with both of these props. Okay, with or without the blank, assume the high school portrait position. And then come over the block so that it's resting right about where your scapula kind of wraps around your back. Okay, so almost tucked into the underarm right here. And there we go. Okay, and I'm gonna rest your head in your hands. So notice where the block is. Okay. Again, for the ladies, it's easy. It's right about where your sports bra falls. For the gentlemen, it's about nipple height right here. Okay. And then we're going to roll back and forth on the block. And we're just going to take a couple breaths each side. Okay. I love starting and ending classes here. Ending because we work this area so much in those overhead positions as well as downward facing dog. These are your downward facing dog muscles right here. So this is great to do at the beginning of class. That helps release any tightness so you can re-engage and retrain those muscles the correct way. But it's also great because they're tight a lot of times, and getting into some of those overhead positions can be really hard if you're tight. So I love doing this at the beginning of class, but also at the end after we've worked them pretty hard. Okay. Option with the blanket. You're basically doing the exact same thing, but try and get it bundled up as tight as you can, and you're really going to maximize this. This is one of those great ones to do if all you have is with a water bottle, especially if it's frozen, if you have some water in it, to make it a little more firm first. Good. I'm going to take one more breath on this side, and then we're going to go ahead and switch. Come on up, and let's switch sides. Okay. Everything over. High school portrait. Fold over the block. Tuck it really close to your underarm. Let your head rest in your hands. Other ones right here to support, especially if you're tighter on one side than you are on the other. Then we're going to rock back and forth. So less is more. I'm actually pushing the ground away from me a little bit here and trying to go. So again, as we wrap up class today, last couple of minutes of release and Shavasana, please drop me a line. Let me know if there's another area of your body that you're looking for additional techniques. I'm also happy to revisit some of the things we've already done. And if you're looking for something a little bit more in depth, we can do a head to toe, just myofascial release class. I am happy to do something like that with you guys. Just know that that takes about an hour and a half. So we might have to break it up into a couple of sections here. But I love this stuff. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I enjoy teaching it. And don't forget to check out all of the other Yoga Moves-Us free offerings. It's an amazing organization. I'm so happy to be connecting with all of you guys online. Gonna take one more breath on this side. Amazing. All right. So we have just enough time for a short, sweet Shavasana right here. I'm going to get you guys set up for a really nice one, okay? So in this case, we are going to use a combination of blocks and blankets or whatever you have handy to you. Feel free to keep doing that myofascial release if that is your jam. You can finish out class like that today. I'm going to use a couple of blankets. Beach towels work really well. Okay, those of you who have yoga blankets, also a great prop. And we're going to fold it into thirds. So we're looking for more of a narrow, chunky fold with whatever it is that you're using. Okay, and we're going to make a long support for the back right here with the option to use something else for your head. So this is a really nice, it's one of my favorite like restorative yoga positions to end class in. Okay, also as an FYI, you guys will be able to access all these techniques for the next, I think, 24 hours on Instagram, but I do have them up on my YouTube channel. So you're welcome to go to High Altitude Yoga on YouTube and leave some comments up there, what you guys want to see, what you like, what you need more of. Good. Nice and long right here. Notice I made mine really chunky. I love big, deep openings right here, but you don't have to do so. And then if you have something extra and you don't like your head hanging back, set it back here as a little pillow. Okay, so I'm going to tuck this really right up against my lower back, right up against my sacrum, and then I'm going to lean all the way back. Now, if you have a long blanket, you may not need under your head. It might extend under your head. I'm putting my block here because my blanket's not quite that long. And then two options here, really three. You can keep your legs bent. You can extend them out. This is a wonderful position. Or you can come into Supta Baddha Konasana, okay, a reclined bound angle pose, and hang right here. And what I will say, anybody out there who's expecting or knows someone who's expecting, you can make the block even higher. And when I was pregnant with the twins, this was great. Good. So if you missed it, what I was saying before is when I was pregnant with my twins, this was like my go-to Shavasana for yoga. Amazing. Okay, so we got about a minute or two to hang right here. This is where I'm actually going to leave you today. So get yourselves nice and comfy. And if this is too much for your inner thighs, you can even grab a couple of props and place them right here, okay, on the outside of your leg. Add a little support. And then let's all take a big deep breath together. So release any stale air in the body. Just let it all out. Inhale nice and deep. And then open the mouth. Pretend like you're fogging up a window. And we'll do that one more time together. Inhale, breath. Exhale to sigh. Shavasana. As you're ready, if you're ready, you can stay here or gently roll over to one side. I thank you as always for joining me today. And I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.